let's get into this right here, right now, on the Mana Symbol channel. We're back with a little bit of Hammer Time. This ain't your mom's Hammer Time. Ain't even your dad's Hammer Time. Might be your quirky aunt on Facebook's Hammer Time. Just don't read her posts about... Anyway. So, we were playing Dark Confidant in 4 copies. So, Hammer Time seems to have in its sort of stock configuration, there's like 3 or 4... slots floating around in most Hammer Time lists that are sort of flex slots, which I think a lot of the time is used on Ingenious Smith. In this case, it's not. We're using Dark Confidant. So these decks frequently splash black for Thoughtseize in the sideboard, sometimes in the main deck even. I've seen a couple now. And this one just went whole hog and said, let's actually play a black card we want to play. Because it's a Lurrus deck, it's very low to the ground, so I'm really interested to see how this goes. Obviously, Dark Confidant is a bit of a magnet for removal spells. And it kind of... It's kind of interesting because a lot of your creatures are must remove in Puresteel Paladin and Dark Confidant. Actually, no, sorry. So in Hammer Time, everything can wear a hammer. So I guess Puresteel Paladin is traditionally the only one which feels like a must remove creature, and this kind of doubles it up. So it doesn't have an enter the battlefield trigger that gives you any value, but they kind of want to kill it fairly quickly. And then eventually we can rebuy it with Lurrus. You have life gain off of Shadowspear to fix any life loss that you do take, but again, the curve is super, super low in this deck. Yeah, Sentinel is also a lightning rod, and then if they're not removing your Sentinel, they're getting taxed all the time and either giving you cards or losing tempo. This deck is also playing 1 copy of Steelshaper's Gift, so we've got 4 Stoneforge, 1 Steelshaper's Gift, so just a little extra redundancy on hammers. So it's going to be interesting to see. Still got 4 Memnite, 4 Ornithopter, hammers, Sigarda's Aid, Springleaf Drums. I think there might be 1 less like main deck Silver Bullet, and I think there's even 1 or 2 less lands, because I think Hammer Time usually plays 22 lands. This version's not playing any main deck Mistress Baubles as well, so I think those slots were used on the main deck Thoughtseizes. Mistress Bauble, I've had this conversation before with people online of like, I remember a time where they played 0 copies of Bauble in Hammer Time. Some people still play it that way. Obviously, this one is traditionally, or not even traditionally, but like I feel like now most of them play 2 to 3. Just because when you get in a long game with Lurrus, it's better a lot of the time than rebuying an Ornithopter or a Memnite. And then the sideboard still has Sanctifier en-Vecs. This is where we're hiding most of the one drop artifacts that are kind of toolboxy. Soul Guide Lantern and Pithing Needle. And we've got good old Manriki-Gusari for the hammer mirrors. It's this goofy little piece of equipment allows you to destroy your opponent's equipment. Doesn't help you against Cauldron Complete, but it's something. And we got some Prismatic Ending, Void Mirror. There's 4 Sanctifier en-Vec. I don't know why they got split up like that. Anyway, let's go do the thing. I am no Hammer Time master in any way, shape, or form. However, I really, really have enjoyed Hammer Time when I've put in the time to play it. The reason I don't play it that often is I feel like it's got such a target on it that it's I don't know, it's I think playing a deck with such a big target on it is not something I do a lot of the time, and therefore learning to play against all the hate and etc. is just something that I'm intimidated by. So Pithing Needle on Urza Saga only stops 1 of its abilities, which is the activate to make constructs. So that it does do something. It's also not hard to hate out. I disagree with that. I find a lot of Hammer's draws, it's like, you can have some hate pieces, but sometimes they just play through and kill you anyway. Hammer's a really good deck. Alright, so we have no hammers, we have no way to get a hammer, but I've got a Sigarda's Aid and an Esper Sentinel, Memnite, Springleaf Drum, Inkmoth. Like, we're kind of ready to draw anything here. So, I'm going to lead on Inkmoth into Springleaf, Memnite, Esper Sentinel, and just see how it goes. Depends on the hate pieces. I mean, it does, but, like, I assume they're talking about, like, things that blow up your artifacts and things that blow up your Saga. Yeah, almost all of them can be beaten. That's the thing. Like, Stony Silence is definitely not as good against Hammertime as it is against, like, say, Affinity. Any kind of spot removal is sometimes not good enough. So... Alright. We have successfully Exploderated. Crashing Footfalls in Exile. All right. Real good draw. I go Saga. I think I'm going to go Animate, Aid, attack for 2. Play Collector Oof instead. Yeah, I mean, certainly Hammertime doesn't play a lot of great stuff that removes Collector Oof. It's just Prismatic Ending and Path to Exile. Although I think that is technically more than they have for other things. I know you're Roy posting, so. Okay, so we're one turn away from touchdown on Rhinos. I don't need to keep either of these untapped for mana. I can't play Dark Confidant and still make a construct this turn. And most likely the hammer that comes in next turn will go on a large construct, which they shouldn't be able to kill with anything, and the only way they should be able to remove it is Brazen Borrower, which I am not worried about. So we look to be in a really good spot here. Fire. Yeah. That's a good one. Of course, they're already at 13, so... And we drew a Puresteel Paladin. Yeah, well, my construct's going to be a lot smaller, but... They still have to be able to kill it. I'm going to go ahead and get the Snow-Covered Plains. I know I could get the Godless Shrine there to shock. So I think I get Hammer here just to force a piece of removal out of them. And then I play Dark Confidant this turn. And then next turn we go Puresteel Paladin. We can move the hammer as long as I keep at least one more artifact. No, I have the Blinkmoth too. Or Inkmoth, as it were. So, yeah, hammer here forces removal. If they don't have it right now, they get completely messed up. If they have Rhinos right now, it's fine. Gone. Yeah. This is fine. They're not making Rhinos this turn. So we'll do that. Fizzles. Play my land for turn. Play Bobby. Oh, Bobby! Oh. Well. Yeah. And yet, I'm still presenting lethal. Kind of love it. Make love, not rhinos. That's the plan. Yeah, they're dead, I think. Fly. It's equipped for 0, and then we fly it again. Yep. So you have to fly your Blinkmoth here, equip, fly your Inkmoth a second time. Now it has flying. Kill my opponent for 10. Boop! Inkmoth's gonna lose flying so they aren't dead. Well. Oh yeah. Yes. Layers. And timestamps. Yeah. So Voidmere, I believe, is the card we want here. Don't need Soul Guide, don't need Pithing Needle. I don't know if I want more Thoughtseizes. They could be good. This is going to be the hard part. Yeah. Oh, it was timestamps all along. Hammertime has a lot of fun judge calls. They're mostly very straightforward, but there are some niche interactions, I suppose. I definitely don't want to play Prismatic Ending here. Oh! Albino Snake with that prime resub. This is always the problem for me. Like, I have no idea where I can cut. I don't agree, Ito. I think 1 mana exile target Rhino is terrible. And in most cases, if the Rhinos are a problem, it means I'm losing. And if I'm doing okay in any kind of reasonable shape, I can outclass Rhinos with this deck. I think. Again, I'm not an expert, but I think I'm supposed to trim on like Memnites. And then I kind of want to trim on Confidants for the other Thoughtseizes. Inkmoth is busted in half in this deck. It's really... Bob seems meh. I mean, only if they have exclusively Fury, which I know we got Furied that game. I don't know. We'll see. Confidant is too grindy. Thoughtseize is good. Yeah, maybe. I guess this game will be a good indicator to me. I'm keeping this hand. I think it's actually kind of medium, but one Springleaf Drum off the top makes this hand insane. And there are 4, so. I think I'm holding back the Ornithopter and Memnite for a while. We're just going to curve out Thoughtseize into Bob. Well, I get to see what their hand looks like. They have exactly 3 lands, and they have all the good cards. And everything removes Bob. Prismari command is Kolaghan's command in this matchup. Do I take the Prismari command and then play only Bob into the Fury? Or is it just only take the Violent Outburst because I, like, quote unquote can't possibly deal with Rhinos on 3? I feel like I'm just supposed to... Don't get complicated. Just take the fucking Violent Outburst. Because with the way my hand is, I guess it's like we need to find something better than what I'm currently working with. Also, I took 4 damage on turn 1, which is really not... Alright, so here I think I play Esper Sentinel and just pass it back. Because anything they want to do to remove it is going to be super tempo negative for them. Or maybe I was supposed to play just the Bob this turn. Thanks, Roybert. The way that my mana situation has worked out has not been the best, though. Hopefully I draw a land this turn, or... Maybe I had to jam Bob there. The problem was that they just Prismari command and do whatever they want with that. Nah, I mean, I get it, Toboggan, and I've played so many, like, 3-color decks in Modern where you lead on Fetch, Shock, Thoughtseize, or something like that, and you're like, not a Death Shadow deck, and sometimes you're just gonna die, and it feels bad, but it's way more important to do it. Like, if it's a problem for you, you shouldn't be registering that set of cards. In most cases. Actually, there's a very high-performing version of this deck, Perplexity, that is playing Magnetic Theft. 2 copies in the main deck. It's super metagamed against other Hammertime decks. They fetched there, and then that happened. I wonder if they drew a Blood Moon. Okay, there's no point in playing out Ornithopter or Esper Sentinel here because that just gives them a better sweep of things to Fury. So I'm just going to pass the turn here. And hopefully we get to draw a card off the Esper Sentinel when they cast the Prismari command. But yeah, they didn't. So we just ported their entire turn 3, which feels pretty good against Rhinos. That was the Foothills. Good. They might Prismari command here for Shock Shatter and pay the tax. They did not. Oh, but they're going to respond to this with Shock Shatter, right? Clear out both constructs. I would if I were them. Or I might. Yep. And they still have the Fury, so I can't, yeah. Old Culligan's command. I think I want the Springleaf Drum here. But yeah, I'm just getting... I feel like I'm beating myself with the information that I have from their hand, unfortunately. Which is a really crappy place to be, but I really feel like that's what's happening here. Did I know that fire is hot? I had some vague understanding. You forgot the gas stove was on? Well, that sounds terrible. I mean, on the plus side, I haven't gotten rhinos yet, but on the on the downside, they can now hardcast a Fury. Interesting. I guess they're under constant threat of Sigarda's aid right now. Okay. I'm going to give them more targets for this Fury while buying my Lurrus. I think that's the way to take this. I don't feel like I need to play a second Sigarda's Aid. Damn. Opponent, you're not allowed to do that. They drew a Violent Outburst while I wasn't looking. They didn't pay? Oh god, what is about to happen? Why did they give me the card there? That seems wrong. Okay. Holy crap. Yikes. So I know they have a petty theft. They could have forgotten to pay. Yeah, maybe they misclicked through it. They kind of fat-fingered it. Okay. I think there's a way to kill them this turn. No, probably not, huh? I think petty theft means it's impossible. I know exactly what their hand is. That's the thing that's making me annoyed. Because I feel like I should be able to navigate this, but I don't know that I can. I feel like the only way out of this has got to be like mising into Shadowspear, which is just not likely. The real problem I have here is like I think I'm supposed to play the Puresteel into this hammer, and then they're gonna petty theft, and then I can replay the Puresteel, but I lost the card draw. Oh, they let me have the card draw. Okay. I would like to equip this to Esper Sentinel, I guess. I don't know what this does for me. Drew me an Inkmoth. Which I guess if I hadn't played... But this doesn't help me. I'm still dead here. Yeah, we're still just dead here. Okay. I do think I want the other Thoughtseizes over the Bobs. I wasn't able to apply Bob that game at all because of the threat of the Fury and the non-stop removal. All right. Crap. Gee, is that a problem? I don't know if that's a problem. Island in Exile. Okay. They can get Blood Moon down before I can get my... what do I want to say? Yeah, I think I'll put a Memnite out here. Just get some chip damage in the early game. We got turn 2 Stoneforge. That's a great draw. So, sorry. So if they Blood Moon me on 3, I'm in a great spot for the moment. And Rhinos on 3 aren't really a concern either. I'm not going to have enough mana for the Inkmoth kill. Oh, yes, I will, because the hammer has flash. So now they can't tap out forever. Assuming the Stoneforge resolves. Rawr, or whatever sound a Rhino makes. I think they bellow, but I assume their noises otherwise are quite low. That said, some animals make just surprisingly funky sounds compared to what you would think. Sorry, what now? What? I'm confused and aroused. I have no idea what this means. But I want an Esper Sentinel in play. Maybe they have Force of Vigor, if I had to guess. Okay. I think I want to flash equip the Shadowspear here to save on mana. The only thing that is losing me is the ability to do it if they had played Fire Ice like split. And now they're going to get taxed for 2 on the next thing that they play, which feels pretty good. They have Brazen Borrower if I fly an Inkmoth, but I can make it lose flying, which is kind of funny. So there's some temptation to boot up one of my Inkmoths and attack with it. But I'm pretty sure post-combat here I'm just playing this Stoneforge again. But this is the slow and steady, just keep chipping in here. And we've got a Flash Hammer if I need it. They're getting double taxed. So I guess the biggest danger is them having, yeah, Force of Vigor. At this point, Force of Vigor hard cast, which is super messed up. But I'm going to draw a card off the... They sack their... Okay. So they're not interested in mana. Or at least not as much as they're interested in another card. I think I'd rather have Silent Clearing than anything else I could have at the moment. I think when I attack here, I'm gonna send in a Colossus Hammer to equip it to the Stoneforge, and with most things they could do to beat that, the second hammer is gonna get them killed. So let's see what happens. Also, I should end up drawing a card, but let's see. Opponent says GG's. They just didn't have it. All right. Sometimes you just get free wins. Sometimes you just get the free wins. It didn't look like a free win, but gotta grip it and rip it, baby. Get him. Oh, son of a bitch. Yeah, we're against the Sky Noodle control. Alright. Pretty excellent hand. We gotta find Kenyeke. I don't need to shock because I got the Springleaf Drum. And if he constantly kills my creatures in order to be able to deny me the ability to use it, then that's just the way it goes. Yikes. I think I have to take the Lightning Bolt, which is really scary. I have to leave the Solitude because it's so low cost for him to bolt the Ornithopter. And at least leaving him the Solitude, like I know what I'm playing around. Yeah. Because I don't have the second land. So I just don't think it's... So we can force the Solitude now. Hey, that's awesome, Toboggan. I hope it goes well for you. Let me know kind of results that gets you. We play Sigarda's Aid. Make attack. I'm doing this because I have a Puresteel to follow up with here. They're letting it go through. Oh god, he's a psycho. So is he going to go Teferi bounce and then he drew another white card for the Solitude? I guess that's probably... It's probably right. Holy shit. You love to see it. What a boss. Just no fucking fear. Okay. So this means I almost definitely get the kill here. I have to play Puresteel first. Equip Hammer second. Tap Puresteel for mana third. Yeah. I'm not surprised, Daemora. I get it. Canister is this good. There's a reason people don't... There's a reason people put respect on the name. So first things first, equip. Yeah, he's kind of stutter. I don't have to play the Thoughtseize now. I can just try to kill him. I will try to kill you, sir. Do you accept? He did not. He did not. He didn't. Oh. Well then. Yeah, take the Fury, huh? Yeah. Yeah. I need to have a creature that can attack. Alright. Good luck, sir. Yeah. He's expressing himself! Nobody wants that bad art time warp anyway. Yes, that's correct, Brian. I have 4 old frame time warp, and they make me happy. I really like the Mystical Archives one. It's just too expensive for me to buy. Like, it's just not, there's just no way. I wanted to buy it, but then I was like, no, why? No way. He found a bolt? Nope. I'm just getting a tap land. Holy crap, he found another Solitude. 80 card deck, found another Solitude. I guess, get God, Zach. Shit, son. I mean, I got another Puresteel, but he can time warp this turn if he found another land. Yeah, got him. Onslaught of Hammers. Write it off as a business expense. So I think we want Thoughtseize again. I don't think I'm interested in Sanctifier. I just have to break through like all the removal. This is simultaneously a really good and a really bad Dark Confidant matchup because of Fury. I don't what are they on in terms of like sideboard cards for this? Do they have Force of Vigor? I'm gonna go check out Martinez TP's list. Martinez Jace, the king of the pile, the noodle pile. Oh, he didn't make it recently. Oh, but Canister did. Even better. Yeah, Force of Vigor, 1. Oh, that's it? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty good game one for them anyway. I think I want to go down Steelshapers and Ornithopter. No, Memnite. No, Harbinger? Sorry, which one? Why am I blanking on this? I should know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't. Harbinger. Flamekin Harbinger. Oh, he doesn't play Elementals. He's not playing Elementals. It's not Elementals. It's Reefless Elementals. Because that was the joke name. I think I keep this. As long as I draw a second land, it's going to be good, and we have the early Esper Sentinel. Hammertime warps. That's almost as good as an idea as Monkey Turns. Reach the Gateway Drug, yeah. I still think I'm going for Sentinel this turn. Especially with him ramping. Although this is way worse if there's a Fury. Oops. Oh well. I'm sure I'll be fine, right? Oh god, Brennan 6. How does it feel, Zach? Yeah, should have Thoughtseized. 10 out of 10. Good lord. Yeah, that's really bad. Although I can kill the Ren in 6, assuming I don't get Solituded. Which I think I will do. Get him, boys. Don't be afraid to use your claws. If you dash monkey and savor the moment, you get to dash monkey again. Oh. You're not wrong. Works even better with Prismatic Ending into Exile. Yikes. Works even better with... He didn't have the land. Good God, that is good for me. Well then. Of course, I still don't have a land, so... God, I can't do anything until I make sure there's no Fury. I don't think. Time Warp, Teferi, Omnath, Iteration, Ren, and 6. Jesus. There's a Misty in the graveyard. He's on 3 mana, so he can play the Teferi or the Iteration. He played Iteration this turn and didn't hit a land. That's what happened. Goodness gracious. I guess better lucky than good on my side of things. Although I'm not finding my second land, so... He can Teferi, right? This is any color. This is blue. Yeah. But he might go Greed again. And play the Iteration. Yeah. Because he's got to hit a land this time, right? Copium? Yeah. And he had another ending. Yikes. Oh, and I didn't play the aids. I didn't play either of the Sigarda's aid before now. Well, I didn't have the colored mana. So now, probably Omnath. How bad would Fury be here? I mean, not worse than that. Animate. Yeah. I think I kept a totally reasonable hand there, and I don't feel bad about the way I lost that game. Like he got some seriously bad luck there, and so did we. Any headphone users, just watch your ears for a half second. 3, 2. All right. Oh, man. This is so bad against Ren and 6. But he had double Ren and 6 last game, right? So that means he's due no Ren and 6 in this game. It's a really good curve. If I untap with Dark Confidant once, it's great. I've got 2 cycle lands and a Sigarda's aid, so like... Yeah. Yeah, that's how high probability works, right? Right, guys? Like, maybe I'm supposed to have prismatic endings here? Like, they're in the sideboard, right? So... And I can play them on X2 or even 3 in this deck fairly easily. So, killing Ren and 6 is killing Utopia Sprawls on turn 1. But he's also got Abundant Growth. I feel like Prismatic Ending is the wrong direction to go. But I could be wrong. Very, very easily. And incredibly so. Okay. Into Teferi. Witness. Okay. Ornithopter. Good draw. Is it weird that I feel like I can swing here? Because he's playing an Ephemerate deck, so he really wants to keep his witnesses. No, I can't swing here, right? Sentinel doesn't matter because what they're going to play this turn, if anything, is a Solitude. So the problem is, like, I can't play into the Fury, but I can't not play into the Fury. I need to find a Thoughtseize, like, to... If he just has, like, Omnath, Fetch Land... I know he's got the Fetch Land, so he's got an Omnath. Lurrus Hand Flash. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I can play the Springleaf Drum as well as that, right? So maybe this is the only thing that makes sense. I honestly don't know. It's very... I can't even fathom how to navigate this. Like... It's just, there's just so many cards in that deck that are just a complete blowout. Yeah, this is what I thought was going to happen. He's got the fetch land. This might just be an unwinnable game. Or close to it. Sideboard into Death and Taxes. Yeah, that might be good against that deck. No, there's no way, because he's got all the pitch spells. Ending on Bob? Sure. Okay, hand's not too bad. Gotta take the witness, but iteration is terrifying. I think I have to silent clearing to draw a card and try to hit a hammer or something. Oh. I mean, that's definitely an or something. I've never seen anyone as or something than Dark Confidant. But now I'm just like, I'm gonna get beat to hell. But I need him to have an iteration like he did last game, where he just kind of whiffed. So he had a draw for turn. He has an iteration. Maybe I should have taken the iteration, because that means he had to play Eternal Witness into the iteration, which is more taxing on the mana. But it just feels... Oh, Time Warp. Yeah, I'm just dead. Yeah. I don't know if we can win that. I certainly was dead from that point. We're going to attack for 6... And there's just almost no chance that he doesn't kill me with an extra 2 damage. Not in the worst shape with Double Confidant. The problem I was having all match there, Connor, was like, if I play out too fast, I get furied brutally. And if I go too slow, he's like obviously the better grinding deck. I managed to win game 1 through a Solitude, 2 Solitudes, and the Fury I Thoughtseized, but, okay, so I'm pretty sure the sequence here for me is going to be Inkmoth into Springleaf on 1, although I guess we'll see what I'm up against, because it might be White Source into Sentinel. And then you have to play hard and pray for no Fury, I guess so, yeah. And they play less of it than they play of the Solitudes. I think I'd rather play Springleaf on 1 against Fiery Islet. What does this? What does this mean? I get to do on 2? It means I get to go Esper Sentinel. The only way I can play Puresteel is if I play a second white source. Whereas if I play Silent Clearing into Sentinel this turn, I can play Springleaf Drum into Springleaf Drum off Saga into Puresteel next turn. So I think that's the better way to go. And in which case, I'm going to tap the Silent Clearing at least twice. So let's shock the Godless Shrine instead. Fiery Islet probably means rhinos, but it's just something with free spells, most likely. Shocks the Steam at events, huh? Yeah, play Saga here. Saga plays Springleaf Drum. If they kill the Esper Sentinel in response, is it Murktide? Yeah, it could be that. The fact that they haven't played any spells so far makes me a little... Play the second Springleaf and attack for 1? Or vice versa? Because I don't really want to bleed the Puresteel. Although I guess like if they counter the Puresteel right now, I have to draw a card. So this is kind of... And most interaction they could use against it is going to be pretty tempo negative for them. I don't actually need the Puresteel right now. I have no equipment, so I feel like just spewing it is kind of okay. And protecting my constructs. They got to find their one of main deck engineered explosives if this is the quote stock Murktide deck. Also, welcome, Connor. Welcome. I welcome your experience with these decks. I've had some really good matches so far, actually. I got to teach someone in chat that you can fly an Inkmoth Nexus with a hammer on it, and it gains flying. It was fun. That is a trick I've known since Hammertime originally came out. Timestamps! Yay! Heat. Yep. Well, it's tempo negative for them, and I don't really mind losing the Puresteel. It is a fun interaction. That is a good draw. So, play Springleaf. Make a 4/4 construct. Construct plays Thoughtseize. Yeah, now it's way too common. Yeah, I think it would be a 1 in a million shot, Kaya, that your opponent doesn't know about flying the Inkmoth. Okay. I guess they're going to get a card if I Thoughtseize. It's probably worth doing. Oh, it doesn't trigger. That's weird. I feel like that should trigger. Anyway, their hand is garbage. So, not that they can't top deck, but it's a pretty crappy hand. Especially against the hand that I have in particular. Serum Visions. Thoughtseize is your second non-creature spell? I guess so. But it's the first, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Fatcaster Mage with the yeah. I didn't realize I played a Springleaf Drum this turn. I was just trying to think about The fact that since they had acquired it. Taking Ragavan over Visions, Monk-a-Hum. Well, I had no creatures untapped, so I feel like getting hit with Ragavan for free there is annoying. No, it definitely shouldn't trigger, right? Because it says when an opponent casts their first non-creature spell, and the game knows which one it was. It's not the first non-creature spell since you gain control of, or since you had the Esper Sentinel. The game knows which one was the first one in the turn. Gideon, when you equip a Colossus Hammer to an Inkmoth Nexus, or anything else with flying, it loses flying. But if you then do basically anything that has it gain flying, it will now have flying. Because it lost it, and then it gained it. It did lose it, but you can give it to it again. And in the case of Inkmoth Nexus, it's quite easy to give it to flying again. You activate it. Alright, we're just activating this for sure. If they want to bolt this in response, I can animate my Inkmoth. So it's got to be better than Bolt. They do have 4 card types, so it could be Unholy Heat. But either way, I'll tap it for the... Pretty sure I just get Shadowspear here. Yeah. But I don't think I'm equipping it this turn. Is there any good reason not to equip it this turn? The only way I could equip it... Oh, I see. No, I can't. I can't equip it. No, because it's only going to become a 6/6. I want to be able to boot up both Inkmoths in response if they have a Heat here. I know most of the other cards in their hand. No Soul Guide. Soul Guide was a good pick, too. There's not in the main deck. This is game 1. I think this deck had to lose slots somewhere. So your Soul Guide and your Needle in the sideboard. There's basically no toolbox cards in the main deck other than Shadowspear. I wonder if they have... Oh, yeah, all right. Well, I can still play out of this. It's fine. Misplay. Didn't check. All right. No Bolt, please. No second Unholy Heat. It's very unlikely. Very unlikely. Please, no. Oh, no. Cycles. They don't have a 0 mana burn spell. All right, got him. Played around Unholy Heat like a champ. That was intended, so I feel really good about that play. What is this? Oh, this is a Murktide, huh? Yeah, that's a whole thing. But I've got an 8/8 lifelink trample. Interesting. Okay. So I guess I force the trade now. It's probably... And do I have a free attack with the other construct? I do, right? They have to block the 8/8. There's basically nothing I can play around. Six, seven, eight. Okay. They just scoop it up. They weren't dead. So I'm not really sure. Kaya, I don't know if you've ever met Roy, but he likes to disturb this stuff. So I think we want all these cards. I don't love Sanctifier en-Vec against Murktide, but I'm sure it's correct. At least I'm pretty sure it is. In terms of sideboarding out, I have no idea. I really don't. I need Connor Mann's help here if he's willing to give it, because I other than probably cutting the Thoughtseizes, I don't know what else we can do, and I don't even know if cutting the Thoughtseizes is right. Sanctifier is amazing versus it. I know I'm consistently told that. I see people board as if it is. I just have a hard time believing it, but I don't play enough of these decks to really understand. Like, I know they have a hard time removing it, and I think that's probably the biggest thing. Actually, I want the Dark Confidants, but I don't know what I can cut. Like, is it just, like, all of Memnite, and we just, like, play a very slow game? Does that make sense? I don't know that it does. I don't think that it does, but maybe it does. I don't even, like, can I play that slowly? Yeah, I can cut the gift, but that's, like, one slot, right? Whereas I feel like... And Memnite is good for making them, making their monkeys annoyed. Angry monkeys. Yeah, I'm probably not thinking of... You wouldn't cut Memnite? I mean... Shave on Confidants. So maybe we just kind of split the difference a little bit. And I guess we'll keep the Memnites over the Thopters. Thopter's only better if it's wearing a hammer, so... Memnite. Yeah. 2/2. This looks okay. I feel like I'm going to miss the Thoughtseizes, but let's find out. Yeah, Memnite's really good against Monkey. Alright, good opener. Got the Path to Exile. Maybe shame a drum or two? Yeah, maybe. Are they needed for fixing? Not so much. The mana in this deck has felt fine as long as you draw lands. They board out monkeys. I guess that makes sense. I want Esper Sentinel in here right away to mess with their cantripping. Also, they don't really want to remove it. My other targets are way higher priority. If they don't board out Monkey, yikes on them. Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Making them spend their whole turn on the Esper Sentinel is probably more than fine. Especially because I have another one. Get a Plains here. If I'm getting Blood Moon, I'm getting Blood Moon off black anyway, and I have a Springleaf Drum. I should have sequenced as the drum first, but in this case, it's probably not relevant. Yeah, Ren and 6 is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, we're on... I mean, but we pretty much always have a Springleaf Drum, right? Again, pretty much always. And they can attack it, but still. Okay. What about a third one? DRC's actually becoming a nuisance here. Always have a drum, sounds sus. No, I'm a percussionist. You gotta have a drum. A lot more universal than cymbals. Much easier to create with low levels of technology. And a lot more useful for communication. Mid to low frequencies carry. Ah, they did have the land drop. They royed me. They royed me good. So I'm definitely playing the Saga this turn. Question is, what else am I doing? If I play the Puresteel, I can follow it with Lurrus, but then I can't play anything with Lurrus, so that's probably just wrong. They're down to 3 cards in hand. I really want to force the counterspell out of them here, so I guess I'm supposed to play the Puresteel this turn. But I can't spew this Path to Exile. It's too important if there's a Murktide follow-up to the DRC. We definitely can sack this cycle. Sucks we have to Path DRC. Probably on their turn, on their upkeep. Yeah. Alright, that's fine. So I think I play Puresteel here. They'll probably counter it. I get to draw a card. Oh. Okay, then. Poke. Ah. Annoying. Super annoying. Okay, because now I can't do everything I wanted where I wanted to do it. I mean, we just probably Path here, right? I think it's the efficiency for me sacking the clearing is going to be worth it, I think. Hey, more. I played against Canister on the deck, and we lost. I won game 1. Game 2, I only ever drew 1 land in 5 turns, and then game 3, he just crushed me because it's a really difficult matchup for Hammertime. I have to play through Fury and Solitude and... Well, that's a draw. So, I can't play Lurrus and activate Saga, so I'm not playing Lurrus this turn. Because I don't want to burn the Saga activations at this point where they're so low run resources. I do feel like, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I play the hammer now, it puts the construct out of lightning bolt range, which is worth doing. 1, 2, 3. No, it's already going to be a 4/4. Sorry, as long as I remember to activate Inkmoth in response to the bolt. Yeah, this is fine. All right. It's all fine here now. Thoughtseize, sure. Yeah, it's not at a totally unlistenable volume. No step on snack for me personally, and I find the gotchi annoying, but most of the other troll music I don't find that bad. I think I'm definitely I definitely have a higher tolerance for it than most people from watching Stryfo's streams, because he would put on people would put on a lot of these Toad Sings covers, which besides being horrible are usually like recorded really badly. So like the microphone's like crackling and distorting nonstop, which is not comfortable to listen to, let's say. Counterster stole your counterspell idea? What are you talking about? Oh, I love Rocks. I love Roxanne, but it's only rocks. I love that song. That one makes me smile every time, because I get to hear more of the musicians. Well, Mord, you don't know that. Maybe it's what do you call it? Independent originality or development or whatever you want to call it. Also, Counterspell was in the first version that was successful, right? So that's just like someone reverting. So, but even if he did steal it from you, that's good. That means he likes your ideas. Sting's also one of the musicians. That's true. Yes. But I mean, the instruments, I should have said. You can hear the instrumental part of Roxanne a lot better, and it's really good. I love Stuart Copeland's drumming. All right. Well, Mord, you don't even know that convergent evolution, basically. Yeah, this hand seems pretty busted. No companion. I'm pretty sure it's safe to lead on Esper Sentinel. I'm going to hold the Memnite in case it's a Fury deck. Although that's almost definitely wrong, right? Right? That's too conservative. If they Fury, it's a 2 for 2, and that's good enough, right? Good draw. I was supposed to play the Thoughtseize before I played the Inkmoth, because Inkmoth not having Summoning Sickness next turn meant I had an opening for lethal. Right? No, I didn't. I would be 1 mana short. If I'm mana symbol, you're mana base. I am very okay with that. Wow, that is not a good hand. I will take your Wrenn and 6, and I will attempt to kill you next turn. Strap yourself in, opponent. You are going to get beat the hell up. Although you might have to fight Goddess Girl for that distinction, because I think she's also learning base. Place a relic just to be ready to cycle it next turn. Sure. I mean, they're gonna chip away at my graveyard for my eventual Lurrus, but like, yeah, they did not have much going on there. I believe, in the words of the immortal aggro player, Connorman, we're gonna clap them. They have been clapped. Take 11. It is very, very damaging clap. It's supersonic speeds. Yeah. What is it? When you break the sound barrier, what is that called? The thing that happens? A sonic boom. We boomed him. Because busting makes me feel good. Oh, yes. Sorry. Legally, you have to say bonk when you connect with Hammer. My mistake. I'll try to comply from here on. Boomed them cheeks. So their only removal is red, right? So, Sanctifier? Right? But we can keep Confidant, and we can keep Thoughtseize, so it's the little creatures that I don't need so much here. Oh, I cut a hammer. I did not mean to do that. I cut a drum. Yeah, Teamer Wreck. Oh, they're gonna have Force of Vigor too. So yeah, I think I want all the Bobs and the Thoughtseizes, right? If you give a hammer to a double striker and it hits, does that count as a flam or a diddle? It's closer to a diddle, right? But I would call it a double stroke. It's definitely a double stroke. That's 2 full wrist strokes, right? Because there's a significant pause. It's certainly not a flam. A flam would be like if you had a replacement effect that added a damage. It's part of the same hit, but it's distinctly noticeable as not being part of the original impact. So, like, what do you call him? Torbran, Thane of Redfell. Flam is like Unleash Fury. You need no. For Flam, you would need an impact with a smaller impact that is part of the same stroke, but distinctly not the lead stroke. A flam has a grace note. A diddle is 2 strokes, but they can be rebounds. In the case of a hammer creature with double strike, I'm going to say that's 2 full wrist strokes. All right. So we are make Rennen Sixt. Okay. Unleash Fury plus Colossus Hammer equals a Mauler 6 hammer hit. Oh, Molar, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, drummers are always diddling. Okay, what's the right way to play this turn? Is it like Saga Sentinel? No, I think it's just like Saga Sigarda's Aid, which feels real slow. Oh, it's Saga pick up Lurrus. Doy. Get your friggin' companion, Zach. Just, if you're ever just diddling around, just paradiddle yourself into a Lurrus. Oh, Mahler's Symphony 6 has a hammer part. Okay. A huge empty box hit with a large wooden hammer. Does it specify wooden and empty? I assume it does, because those would be acoustically different. God. That's great. You gotta play it on it. Got it. Do I want the Thopter here? I don't know if I'm supposed to play the Thopter here. I mean, you could always just do it, Kaya, and people would probably watch you do it. And then you could 3-2 gloriously. Just gloriously 3-2 with it, put it on YouTube, and start collecting money and subs. You got good ideas, just go make them work for you. It's not that much more work than what you're doing, and if you keep doing it, suddenly you're going to be known for it. So I should have fetched with this quicker. I didn't get punished for it, luckily. Because if they had the ability to destroy my Springleaf Drum in response there, then I wouldn't be able to activate my Saga, but I got away with it. If I was getting Force of Vigor there, you'd watch that. See? Lots of people would watch that. It sounds sweet. Who wouldn't watch that? The nice thing about streaming is it means you can play bad decks and get something out of it consistently. Like, no matter how bad an idea is, other people get to enjoy my bad idea, win or lose. Yeah. And Saffron Olive too. He does a lot of what are they called? I mean, against the odds. So, am I going conservative here and getting? No, I'm getting Hammer because I have a Puresteel Paladin in hand. So we go Hammer, equipped to Ornithopter. Yep, no problem. Could have tapped it in response, but at the moment, I'm actually not. I don't feel like I need to. I still have the Sigarda's Aid. I'm going to try to take down this Ren and 6. I'm going to style on them with the Ornithopter. It's not pure styling, but... Yeah, Ren and 6 down. They might just have a backup. That's fine by me. He'll mod you, Mord. You don't even want to know. Wait, you're also a mod. He can't attack you. You have unmod blockable. Counter spells by Esper Sentinel. Very well. Yeah, exactly. The market of good players who play good decks is competitive and fairly saturated, I guess. Actually, I don't think that's true at all, ESVia. I think if you choose a deck that doesn't currently have someone who streams it a lot, for a perfect example, Mill. There's no Mill guy right now. Not one. Or at least not one that I know of, which means they're not within the top sort of 10 modern streamers or even 20. There's no one who's a Mill guy right now, and I guarantee you there's a market for it. Much like Demonic Tutors is the new Yogg guy, right? There's no Mill guy yet? Well, there were 2 of them. They're just both gone. Like, they both just stopped streaming. You want to be Urian guy? I mean, you already are, as far as I'm concerned. You're the 80-card Mordpile guy. Okay, can I play Puresteel here? If they have Cryptic Command, I want to try to attack first. So let's go to attacks first. I think slow roll is fine here. Snap. Archmage's Charm, I guess. Snap Heat. They only have 3 card types. Oh, post damage. Got it. Okay. Works for me. Obviously, Basura streams Lantern and Tron Sunday through Wednesdays? Huh. I'm a bad friend. I didn't know that. So they're going to be able to play Heat no matter what. I'm going to play Puresteel first. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've rated me a bunch of times. I feel shitty about not knowing. So now I can play Lurrus into Ornithopter. They'll get to kill my Lurrus immediately, which is not appealing to me. So let's just let them Unholy Heat a Construct token here. It's fine by me. The other one is killing them fairly quickly. They're down to 2 cards in hand, so... sure. Yeah, that's fine. That's a ridiculously good sign. I think this means they lose. Yeah, they're dead. Unless they have specifically Force of Vigor green card, I think they're dead. How much mana do I need? I only need 4, but let's keep 1 more. So we play Lurrus. Lurrus plays Puresteel. Puresteel equips Hammer. And this makes it... Yeah, this is the best way to make it so that they have to have exactly Force of Vigor. Yeah. And I created the most value. Because I could have just played a Hammer out of the graveyard at flash speed with Sigarda's aid there, but because I had enough mana to do it this way, I think it's better. I'll be back in 1 second, and then we will finish up this league. So for anyone who can't see my pits, it is warm in here, so... Gotta get some Schwartz on. Shorts, the only way to play Hammertime. Also played around Fawn? Yeah, I guess so. Oh, sure, I am on it, Roy. Lot of people in the 3-2 or better camp while I'm playing Hammertime. I'm a little surprised. Play Lantern Control, it's fun. I like Lantern Control. I don't think it's very good right now. Once people other than me figured out that Prismatic Ending was good. Alright, I mean, we're on the one land again, but this opener is so good I'm not turning it down. Yes, for those who don't know, Karl Marx is a cat. Yes, it's very bad for Lantern right now, Roy. There's Prismatic Ending and like Force of Vigors and Alpine Moons to attack your sagas. Lantern, yeah, Lantern is probably the worst positioned it's ever been, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's all the hate that targets Hammertime hits Lantern as well, but Lantern isn't as good because it can't win quickly ever. Solitude. Do they also have the Ephemerite? Gosh, I hope not. They stacked their triggers wrong. They do not. That's good news. So we're against Urian Pile again, but this time not piloted by Canister, so I'm a little bit more confident. This is a very strange way for this to play out, but all right. I guess we see if they have a second Solitude. I basically have no reason not to, right? I could set up to kill them in more turns. I feel like hammer. Just jam the hammer, Zach. Attack down Ren and 6. The reason I'm bothering to attack down Ren and 6 is because I'm also playing Bob. And if they have a second Ren and 6, they're spending their turn during that. But, I don't know. Yeah, of course. So I should have just hit them, obviously. They plussed. Okay. That's something. Holy crap. They only saw one of these. They don't know about the other one. I did not know Colossus Hammer had such a great flavor text. There's only one way to be sure it's really dead. Real hand? Nah. Dark Confidant is actually better than Ingenious Smith. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. because it doesn't have an ETB trigger, and it can't grow, but it definitely is good in grindier matchups, like when it can do its thing. It just doesn't... It hasn't happened much in this league. So has seemed like it's maybe better, but not necessarily better. Like, not in a way that is necessary, I guess is what I want to say. I talked last game about having Prismatic Ending here, but again, I think that's the wrong way to go. I think we just rock in like this. Good luck, Godspeed. His hand is not great. But I'm going to keep it. What do you mean about 8-rack? What do I think about 8-rack? I mean, why play 8-rack when you can play 1-rack, I guess? Would be my... So, let's play out an Ornithopter so I have something to put a hammer on if somehow that comes into being. Can't do anything with it this turn, but that's okay. Annoying. Though if I just draw a hammer, not so much. It's not a hammer. Okay. Shock this. Is there any reason to run Emery and Hammer? You deny yourself Lurrus, but there's probably an okay version of blue-white Hammer to be discovered, I guess. I would guess there's probably a viable blue-white Hammer deck. There was that played Spell Stutter Sprite and like Spell Pierce, and the thing is you don't want to turn off Lurrus. So, like, you could play Emery and Hammer. It just means you're not a Lurrus deck anymore. Which means you could play Cauldron Complete or Nettle Cyst or just 3-drops and etc. Which... Well, you know, they should definitely be playing Saga and 8-rack. Okay, this doesn't kill everything unless they have Ephemerate. If they have Ephemerate, sucks. I guess that was the reason not to play the Thopter. Okay. If they have it, they didn't play it. Oh yeah, Boomerang is definitely a thing. Alright, we go nuts here. I could have done this in a way that was less greedy. This way that I've done it gets blown out extra hard by Solitude. Yep. I could have gotten the equip if I had done it the other way around. Damn it. Well, they had double Evoke Elemental, It's hard to do anything about that. Yeah. Damn it. Alright, well. At least I forced it out. I still have a Lurrus to grab. We're not out of this yet, but this is colossally annoying. Yeah. Maybe after that happened, I was supposed to play the Memnite. Still worried about losing all of my potential artifacts to Fury, though. Maybe overly worried. Really? Okay. I guess I don't have any creatures that can attack this turn, so it's a reasonable choice. That's a good draw. Not a great draw, but a good draw. No, I shouldn't have played the Memnite. They still have the Ren in 6. That was never going to be correct. Good. Okay. Yeah, Inkmoth Nexus is insane in this deck, but the fact that they have a Teferi in play and they have pitch elementals, it makes it very, very difficult. A Ren is 6 on 7 loyalty. Yeah, I have no way to get these hammers equipped. Yeah, I got greedy with the Puresteel Paladin because I assumed that I'm always supposed to try to get the card draw out of it, and that's obviously not true. Gosh, this is so annoying. 6 cards in hand on their side. At least 2 of them are probably lands, but the fact that all their mana is open means, like, even if they have a Solitude, it's... You can just hard cast it now. Attack with the Ornithopter, send a message? Sure, why not? Slap that Ren 6. They have another Fury here. I mean, it's just a back-raking, but there's I don't know if there's winning in this game. They have Force of Vigor? Nope. Solitude. Yeah. What did they exile? Omnath. A Solitude. Oh, they do have. I bet they have a Fury. Badagaboosh. The quality joke explanation. I hope you wear glasses, Badagaboosh. They don't play Nahiri, Roy. This deck doesn't play Nahiri. Yeah. So, draw Sigarda's 8 or bust. Yeah. 2 Solitudes, 2 Fury in the 80 card deck, which is only statistically sort of like slightly out of average. Yeah, there you go. Another Inkmoth. Yeah, not good enough. All right, game 3. No, it's just the kind of joke you made required you to have glasses. So that you could... So you could do the move. No lander. Yeah, no. Alright, well... Again, I'm in bad shape against Renin 6 and Fury, but... And Solitude to a lesser extent, but I don't know if there's hands that this deck can have that are not. It's kind of wild that both matches against the opponent's deck, I won game 1 and lost 2 and 3, but I didn't really see any like actual sideboard cards, if that makes sense. Like I never got Force of Vigored. I never got. It's just their main deck doing its thing that got me both times. It's a little bit surprising. Knowing it's Hammer. They didn't mulligan any games. Canister didn't mulligan. This player didn't mulligan. They never mulliganed. I'm just saying it was interesting that the way it went. I'm jinxing the game 3. I'm already in the game 3. I'm already in the game 3. Right. Oh, I mean, right. I just feel like I'm already like going to lose this game because I got game 1, but yeah, I sure I see what you're saying now. I just don't. They don't see ways to win these games right now. I don't. I can't play Dark Confidant here, and I can't play Lurrus, right? Like, I'm gonna play the Dark Confidant, but there's just no point, basically. No, I mean I agree with you, Perplexity. This is clearly a matchup where Bob is not good, but I don't know what I could sideboard it out for that makes any sense. Like, is it Prismatic Ending? I can't imagine trying to go toe to toe with them on value and take time off of playing things that they actually have to interact with is the right way to go. But maybe it is. It just like it doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it's not supposed to because I'm not like the kind of player. The Bobs are a sideboard card that comes in post-board versus the grindy matchup. They're in the main deck. Like, they're literally in the main deck. Needle is fine, Ren 6 that much a problem. That's a thing that I missed. I was thinking, like, I don't need to Needle to Fairy. Yeah. But I've had no... I don't think I've drawn Saga in any of these games. You think they deserve to be... Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, this is just over, right? I haven't been able to apply anything here. Man, it just felt so unwinnable. Like every non-game one. Yeah, I guess so, but like they also play Prismatic Ending, do they not? Like I don't know, and maybe it's another thing that they have to deal with, but like I don't know, it just feels unwinnable. But again, I feel like in game 2s and 3s, I've also not seen like a Sigarda's Aid, and I've not seen Sagas. Like I haven't had enough stuff that they have to deal with. Yeah, it definitely would sometimes Perplexity, but on the same time they play Teferi Time Raveler too. So I'm just not sure. Yeah. Sentinel must side in this game. Maybe that's a card that I haven't been cutting ever and I'm supposed to. And a Welding Jar. Yeah, I could see Welding Jar being useful here. They're on 7 cards in hand. I'm off it. I can't do this to myself. I don't see any way to get through that, and I clearly don't understand the matchup well enough. So, 3-2 record, totally fine for a deck that has like got an enormous target on it. We basically lost the same deck twice, so I don't really feel bad about it. And it felt like a pretty unwinnable matchup, even though I won one game in each one. I felt like I got insanely lucky to do that in retrospect. Bob is definitely not good against that deck because of Fury and Ren 6. And we don't have like any good sideboard except the Pithing Needle. I should have brought in the Pithing Needle there. I basically never brought in the Pithing Needle or the Soul Guide Lantern. I brought the Soul Guide Lantern in against Murktide, but nothing else, I think. Just because we didn't play against so much. Who's the other Orion player? Canister. So, I mean, Thoughtseize seemed really good in the times where we drew it. It was good against Rhinos. It was good against Canister in the game 1 where I had him. Having 4 Thoughtseize post board against the Orion piles feels okay. Memnite and Sentinel out, but we also have Dark Confidant. Like we have two. This deck has too many 1 toughness creatures against Ren 6 and Fury. But I don't think you can board them all out. But maybe you're supposed to. I would talk to Pygonti if I'm actually going to learn how to do this. But running the experiment, trying out this deck was certainly fun. It just like the places where it fell down were where I needed to find percentages and edges. I can play most hands of this deck pretty okay, I think, but being able to get those niche points which you really need in those tougher matchups, that's something I'm certainly incapable of. But if I wanted to know who to learn from, it would be Pygonti and his grinder group. So, anywho, Void Mirror in probably would have been a good sideboard against the pitch elemental decks. I guess, Pithing Needle and Void Mirror are probably good. Interesting. But anyway, So if you're in the future watching this on the YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and tell me all the misplays I made, both with sideboarding and in games. Hopefully you've learned something somewhere along the way, and I will see you